So, estamos live. Hi, Gladys.
Hola, hola.
Oh, my goodness. So, estamos... Welcome back.
Welcome back. I know, it's been a while.
A while.
Like years.
My goodness. Yo cogí un brequecito. I took a little break, but thank you, everybody who's asked me, hey, when you're coming back with the podcast, we're here. We just...
Kicking it off.
I know. And especially with you, we haven't seen each other for a long time.
Yep.
And by the way, I admire everything that you have done. We know each other for a long time.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about what exactly, how you started, where you're coming from, what is your dreams. Vamos a hablar un poquito de todo lo tuyo.
Un poquito de todo.
Un poquito de todo. So, bienvenidos todo el mundo, porque estoy bien emocionada, porque estoy all over the place. So, it's okay, that's Sonia. Anyway, so muchísimas gracias. Welcome back to Latin Financial Podcast. Y estamos aquí, vamos a tener una conversación con Gladys. Gladys, bienvenida.
Gracias. Un honor. We're going to talk Spanglish here today, just so you guys know, para que sepan. I'm Gladys Ortiz. I'm CEO and founder of The Go Effect. We're a financial boutique firm. We offer business consulting, fractional CFO, fractional COO, and bookkeeping services.
Okay.
And it all stemmed from, we've been in business 5 years now. This year was 5 years. I can't believe it, but yes, 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's been a crazy ride, the ebbs and flows of business. And we took a little break ourselves. We took a year break and we did a lot of soul searching and surveys of pain points for clients and small businesses that are struggling, and and it all stemmed from they all had one common denominator, Sonia. Common denominator.
What was it?
And it was, I don't know how much money I'm making, how much is coming in. Well, they know how much is coming in.
Yeah.
That's a given. They don't know how much is going out. They don't know what documentation they need. Everybody needs money, but then they don't know how to get the money.
Do you think that the industry itself is changing? And
for sure.
It's about survivor. La mayoría de los clientes ahora que yo hablo es básicamente que, Sonia, es como tú dijiste, el dinero entra, sale muy rápido y no saben dónde empezar, obviamente después del COVID. So, cuéntame, ¿cómo empezaste el negocio? ¿Qué te inspiró? ¿O tú vienes de la banca, obviamente?
Sí, 25 años en banking, y te digo, desde credit unions hasta los bancos más grandes del mundo global.
Increíble.
Y yo he hecho todo en el banco. So you name the position in the title, I've held it.
¿Cuándo tú empezaste? When you started in the banking?
I was
la primera latina que estaba ahí, me imagino. Or?
I was one of the first Latin branch managers for a certain organization. Which was crazy wild to think about it. And they didn't want to promote me either. They were like, oh, quédate assistant manager. Y yo, no, I want the title. I'm bringing the deals. I'm bringing the people.
Do you think that they didn't want you to?
Oh, for sure. You're blacklisted to a certain degree, for sure. Oppressed to a certain degree, right? I would bring in multi-million-dollar deals and I couldn't be at the table with the deal. Bring us your people, bring us this deal, bring us this manufacturing company.
They wanted your connections. You build the connections, but they get the glory,
Yes.
It's such a shame.
It is. It's awful. I'm hoping that it's changed. I do see a change, even in the financial industry. I do see more women, commercial bankers, small business bankers, relationship managers, which is awesome to see the transition, and more women of color. Primarily, I mean, I don't like to use that term, but it's true, right? More minority women, but women, period, that are getting the opportunities that we should have received a long time ago, for sure.
It is crazy because I started in the mortgage, and it's true. I was the only one. I used to look around, the only one who spoke Spanish. They wanted me because of that, the small market. They call it the small market.
Yeah.
But there was no, like, I never saw growth. I mean, and even more money. I was like una esclava del trabajo todo el tiempo. And unfortunately, as a single mom, era paycheck to paycheck. And don't get me wrong, todavía, you have to work your butt off just to make sure that you are up here, Pero I'm very, very proud of you because I've been watching you and I've been dying to do business with you in terms about because we, for some people, they think because you are in the same market or in the same industry, you cannot collaborate.
No,
and that is
they use the other C word,
right?
Competition.
Yes.
Like, it's on me competitor. And I'm like, no, there's plenty of opportunity para todas.
And we were talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, behind the scenes, we were definitely talking about that. We're not competitors. We're in the same industry. We have similar backgrounds. One thing we don't talk enough about, especially as Latinas, is we have similar struggles.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
We have similar struggles in life and in business. And there's a direct correlation. And I wish culturalmente que hablábamos más de eso porque nos une más.
Yo creo que también, a través de los años, because we've known each other for a long time, pero a través de los años, we knew, even though that we didn't talk about personally our personal struggles, like you said, which we did today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to know that we are so similar.
Oh, yeah.
But en ese entonces, I always study everybody else, but we were not in the same rooms together.
Yeah.
Until recently, y eso es bueno porque entonces ahora estoy viendo como que más latinas en pequeñas organizaciones que están haciendo sus grupos. It is a shame because I am looking in the past year y como que he visto todas esas personas que nos hemos visto and we met each other, like I don't see them anymore together.
I know.
I was thinking about that.
The collaboration component, I feel, is, if done well, can be very fruitful, prosperous. And think about the reach, right? Like you and I uniting, think about our reach and how many more small businesses we can help, how many more minority-owned businesses we can help, how many more families we can help that were just like us or that thinking just like us, right? Single moms that we could help reach home ownership for the first time that they didn't believe that they could.
I think definitely more workshops, more
information.
The lack of information. It's kind of crazy because I talk about it a lot, but it is true. Si tú y yo nos uniéramos y otras personas, otras mujeres ahí, que yo sé que hay tantas.
So many of you out there.
Yeah, tú sabes hacer algo. Y es que no sé por qué, en este último mes yo he estado pensando, oh, goodness, pero aquellas muchachas y aquellas muchachas que, we used to, like we don't have to wait once a year to go to a convention here.
No.
Or, a couple of times a year because it's the Latino Heritage Month that is coming. Now I'm going to see everybody. I would like to see everybody more often.
Yes. I've been very intentional too this year, specifically 2026. I said, I dissected my first half of the year, and I like to dissect things in, halves of the year, quarterly, right? Monthly. And then we do things weekly and daily, but primarily it's monthly and quarterly and, semi-annually. And one thing for me, I said, I'm going to be very, very intentional in, if I invite you to a cafecito, let's put it on the books today.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. en tal sitio. Vamos.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend time and just catch up on all things life and business.
And then, we need that more often. I mean, el día que yo me senté contigo, y gracias por invitarme al cafecito, porque de verdad me quedé pensando desde ese día, okay, ¿cómo Gladys y yo podemos trabajar juntas en, it may not be quick, but now it is. Yo sé que yo te llamé ayer y te dije, vente, vamos para acá, vamos a hacerlo, because I know for a fact that we can actually reach so many people and so many businesses. Y cuando me senté a hablar contigo ahorita, me encantó because tenemos la misma visión.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tenemos que ayudarnos, pero tenemos que crecer nosotras y nosotros hacemos un excelente trabajo para los negocios. So, imagínate lo que podemos hacer y es increíble.
I talked to someone recently, a client, and I said to them, you're in this location and you're leasing this place. Do you want to own this place? And you know what she said to me? She goes, I think so. And I go, okay, well, let's talk about that. And I gave her my card. I didn't know her from nowhere. I said, here's my card. Let's connect. Let's talk, because I want to see more Latinos, more minorities own the buildings that their businesses are in, keeping the money under the same umbrella. But at the same time, we have the same pain points. When you ask a small business owner, especially a minority business owner, right? What's your P&L? They go, what is that? What is your balance sheet? what is that? Again, I know I made $50,000 last month. July was a great month for me. I made $50,000. Great. I love that for you. Was that pure profit? Oh yeah, that's what came in. And oh no, I had to pay this fulano and this and that, right? And I go, okay, so that's not pure profit. That's not revenue. Let's talk about that. Let me help you. When I say to them, what software of accounting are you using? QuickBooks, because that's a favorite one. I don't want to name brands, but that's a popular one, right? Simple, it's easy, super intuitive. Oh no, I have an Excel spreadsheet. This scared me the other day. A client said, I have an Excel spreadsheet and I do this and I do that. And this is where I live for their accounting. And I go, okay, so no lender, like when I come to Sonia and I say, mira, my client needs $50,000. And she's like, well, great, send me this. And the client doesn't have it. There's nothing we can do. We need to get that honed in. We need to get you to understand what comes in and what goes out. We need to get you organized. I've been doing a lot of videos lately, and everybody knows I'm not a social media junkie, but I'm becoming, because again, as much as we know, right? And every business owner, same common denominator. I'm good at my business. I'm good at what I do. So then hire an expert or outsource that piece of the business so that you can be ready for funding or for grants, right?
I think it totally agree with you, because I think la mayoría de los negociantes que yo hablo han tenido una mala experiencia. They had a bad experience before. Or they don't know where to start or where to go or share that information about money with somebody else.
Correct.
Either they feel like, okay, we're not making enough, or we're not doing the right things, or, oh my goodness, I'm doing something wrong. Déjate ayudar. Let somebody who has the experience help you. You run your business, you love your business, take care of your business, run your business. Let somebody else, help you with the books. I mean, you do amazing. Talk to us about everything that you do, because you do a lot.
I do. So I honed in the past year, we honed in on a lot of the 4 pillars of a business, right? We did a survey. We did like a year-long survey, current clients, outside surveys, a whole year of just data collecting. What are the biggest pain points? What keeps businesses up at night and allowing the business owner not to sleep? And it's always cash flow. It's always, I need more money. How do I get grants? How do I do this? And they're doing all the right things. They're working in their business, but they're not working on their business. And there's a difference. And I think more business owners need to understand how the business works in and on. And so we help you do that. So again, we're a full financial firm that offers bookkeeping, fractional CFO, fractional COO, and just general consulting. So it all starts with your books. So you have to get your books in order. Organizations. I spoke about this in a video I did a few weeks back. And lenders, banks, credit unions, even those other companies that are, that even if you do a merchant service loan, right, they still need a P&L. There's some level of documentation. What comes in, what goes out. They still need your bank statements. They need something, a data. If you're all over the place, a lender can spot that a mile away.
It's 100%. You know what? I had one client, and it's this scenario. I'm going to talk about this really quick, because, they applied. They had, merchants or clients that they have a lot of deposits. They're going to tend to say, we make enough, we should be able to afford a loan. But the lender is going to see those numbers. They're going to see all the insufficiencies that you have per month. Esos cheques que están rebotando, todas esas cositas. Tú sabes que todo el dinero entra y todo el dinero sale. Tú tienes que dejar un dinerito en la cuenta para que se refleje todos los meses. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we got a lot of the clients, because even though they make a lot of money, they don't, it's all over. It's a mess. Every month.
Oh, they don't know what goes in and what comes out. And I try to advise the businesses that I work with to silo certain things and streamline processes, right? Because that's important. If you have everything running through the same account, that's a lot for me to dissect, right? And again, that costs more money. I'm going to charge you more money to dissect everything because it's more time. But if you work with me, you hire we're going to tell you need this many checking accounts for your business. We tell you not to do interest-bearing accounts for numerous reasons, because it's not worth the 5 cents a year you're going to get in interest, right? But less is more when you're going to a lender and asking for funding. So there's, again, we talk strategy and we actually talk your numbers. So it all starts with bookkeeping. That's number one. We need to get you organized. We can't have here, there, everywhere, and chaos.
You know, one of the clients that I spoke this morning, they were like transferring from the business and personal. This is one of the biggest mistakes that a new business, and even a business that is already established, they keep on transferring money from one account to the other one. Stop. The business has to be run as a business, not as a personal. You don't need to buy shoes from the business account, you know, because it's kind of crazy.
Good luck justifying that purchase, right? Yeah, no commingling, no commingling.
I love that. Especialmente ahora, what do you recommend? Because you know what, va a venir ahora, you know, tax season the next year, and you want to make sure that in the next 30 to 60 days, they have the books ready. How can you help them? Do you have like different brackets in terms about?
We do. We offer 3-tiered packaging, right? And we know this from a marketing perspective that not every business is at the same level.
Correct.
So there's the genuine startup company, there's the mid-level, like to mid-size, and then there's the more transactional, more accounts, more streamlined, they're a little more organized, but they have everything going the right way and they're trajecting to growth. So we offer tiered packages. We also offer bundle packages, right? Because bookkeeping, COO, CFO services, you can bundle that together.
Yeah.
Most businesses need their books organized, right? They need actual accounting, but then they need COO services, right? And here's where—
Can you explain the difference between the bookkeeping and needing the COO? Because I know them.
Oh yeah. So and CFO too, because they think a bookkeeper and a CFO is the same thing. It's not the same thing. So we streamline it. Bookkeeping is just your books. It's organizing, reconciling your accounts, reconciling any credit cards that you may have, and getting everything to equal out and match, and getting a true profit and loss statement. That's what a P&L is, and a true balance sheet on a monthly basis.
And you're gonna need that to apply for a big loan. Definitely, those are the stipulations that any lender will need.
Yeah, and that's basic, right? That's basic. That's like baseline. And then so we offer fractional CFO and fractional COO. The difference between that is the COO is a chief operating officer, right? Hefty price tag if you were to hire someone full time. So what we say in our model at the Go Effect is you get to hire my executive brain and my team's executive brain for a fraction of the cost. So it's going to cost you $60,000 a year, right, to offer a bundle of fractional CFO, fractional COO. But if you were to hire a full-time CFO or COO, you're paying in upwards of $175,000 plus a year. So that's a hefty price tag, right? They have a very siloed job. A chief operating officer. We're getting SOPs in place. Some people don't even know what SOPs are.
And you're going to explain to everybody right now.
Standard operating procedures. These are non-negotiables. How does your business function? If you're out, Sonia, for a month because you're going to the Bahamas to live it up because you've earned it.
Who's going to run the company?
You should have streamlined SOPs working for you. The wheel keeps turning and turning. Minimal interruption. Minimal, right? You shouldn't be bothered. And that should happen. So you have an HR handbook. You have policies and procedures. You have videos that instruct your team on how to do with scenarios.
So
FAQs.
Important. So everything that you're mentioning, you know how many companies did they lack that information? That they have no idea, and it's not their fault. Hey, listen, you know, sometimes, you know, the businesses, they run the business and they're just there to survive. But this amazing opportunities with the right company can take you to the next level.
Absolutely. And you don't want to be bothered. Imagine I'm coming to you as your employee. Sonia, Sonia, do you have 5 minutes? Oh, can I run this by you?
No.
Can I mean,
I would never finish to finish my, no.
You can't do what you do best, right? You're the CEO. You need to function and operate as such. And then your fractional CFO, right? So COO gets all your operational components. We tighten up everything for your business, your organization. We keep the wheel turning. The CFO is the chief financial officer. Again, a fraction, same concept, but we dig deep into your numbers. We say, You're not profitable. You can't hire someone else. I know you need the help, but let's get you profitable. We take a deep dive into your numbers and go, okay, are you diversified enough, right? So I look at Latin Financial, and if you have one product, right, you have one lender, and 75% of your business is going to that one lender, what happens if that lender goes away
out of
tomorrow?
business? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, yes.
There goes 75% of your revenue. So what is the plan to offset that? So we really do a business audit, deep dive into your business and look at your numbers and say, okay, where can you sunset this product because it's not working for you?
Absolutely.
Or let's diversify. This is about 35% of your business. This is about 40%. Let's try to equalize. And again, get the graph chart. Like if you can just imagine a graph chart, the pie chart, and let's try to make it as equal as possible. It's never going to be 100% equal. Yeah. If you're ADD or type A like I am, it's never going to be equals, right? 25, 25, 25, 25. It's not going to happen. But you have to be okay. And then there has to be that contingency plan. We want to grow, but at what rate? And do we have the capacity to grow at that rate? Because everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to grow. But the reality is you need to sometimes fall back, scale back to take 10 steps forward. And some CEOs, some business owners are not ready to think that way. My job is to help you think that way.
Absolutely. And that's scary to think, okay, my goodness, how am I going to do this? And very interesting because you just mentioned about the 75%. I went through that myself because as a company that, we offer so many different programs for all the business, different industries. When COVID happened, when Hurricane Maria happened, most of my book of business, it was in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So automatically when that happened, obviously my main concern, it was like, the businesses in my family over there. But I didn't realize until later, oh my goodness, wait a minute, I'm shut down.
Yeah.
I'm shut down as a company. What am I going to do? So I had to literally work on that. Hey, listen, what am I going to do? How the businesses, and lucky enough that we have two different type of businesses that we, obviously, if one doesn't do good, the other one thrives. So, we did good when that happened. But imagine if something happens right now, how are you going to survive? Do you have a exit strategy? Hey, listen, what am I going to do if something happens and you got to be emergency happens? Most of the businesses right now in each state, if it's not fires, is the water flooding. Oh my goodness. So for your business, if a client o un cliente está fuera de los Estados Unidos o está in another state, how is the process to do business with the Go Effect?
So I will say about 80% of our business is nationwide. So we can help a client anywhere in any state, in almost any state, I will say. There are some states that are a little limiting.
And you do business with every single industry?
Every single industry, correct.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So from their startups to your, like I've been in business, I have a concept and I want to bring it to fruition. And, I have a plan, like I'm ready to go. I've been in business like a food truck, for example, food truck, and they're ready for brick and mortar, right? Because everybody thinks they're ready for brick and mortar.
Yeah.
That transition. The transition from I've been in my lease for 5 years, I'm ready to own a building and create my empire here, right? So those we help every side.
So phenomenal. It's just one thing got to do. It's just you are running something that my type of business, my clients that will need right now.
Oh yeah.
This is something that I can't wait to, in the next 30 days, we're going to give you an update on what we are doing.
Absolutely.
So you will know. Okay. So in your business, let's say that, what is the common mistake that every business that comes to you have besides the lack of funds?
So they are not structured correctly. So they don't know how to transition from an LLC to an S Corp. Right. That's a big one too. I always say we partner with tax preparers and actual CPAs for that component of the business. So I have great teams and I have different collaboration and partnerships there because we definitely want to make sure that you're legally structured and that you have tax strategy at your advantage, at your fingertips. It's one thing to file your taxes every year. It's another thing to not take advantage or take advantage of the wrong tax strategy. The biggest one that I hear is I can put my SUV, buy a G-Wagon.
God, mentality. Yeah.
Right? I can buy a G-Wagon because it weighs X amount of whatever, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to put it under the LLC's name. And the list goes on and on and on and on until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So again, not every strategy is for every business. And this is why it's important to have these consultations and to sit down and say, okay, here's where I'm at. And let's be honest. I think honesty, because there's a shame component that goes around honesty. What you and I do is they have guilt or the thought of I should have been further along by now in business, or I can't believe I made all this money. Where did it go? How did I misappropriate some of these funds? So I think being honest and laying your cards bare and being transparent, we're going to find out anyway, because when we dig into the numbers, we see everything. So don't hide anything from your business consultant, your CFO, your COO, your lender. From a lender perspective, I will say less is more, right?
Yeah.
Only give them what they're asking for. Never give them more.
Absolutely. Listen, you know, a couple of minutes ago, you know, it happens, you know. I was going to say something and you know, I remember I can't mention that yet. Okay, so how I have so many questions because, you know, I have so many deals that I would like for you to talk to. So let's talk about you really quick. What's next for you? What's next for you as a Gladys and as a CEO, as a woman, you know?
I have so many projects going on. I shared with you, I bought a commercial building, 12 office units, suite.
If you're looking for, you know,
space, yeah, holler at your girl. So I have tons of beautiful office suites located in Connecticut. And geographically, we can talk more offline and, you know, help you out there. But yeah, that was a passion project. I enjoyed turning something that hadn't been updated since 1998. Oof. And modernizing it and making it beautiful. And
I'm pretty sure that process wasn't easy.
It wasn't. And I learned a lot about budgeting and going over budget and how, you know, you want all the things because aesthetically it looks so beautiful, but you got to reel yourself in and say, you know, let's repurpose that. Let's resurface that. Let's, you know, recycle because it gets costly. Those jobs.
That was your first.
That's my first commercial property.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm proud of myself.
Out of many that come, you know,
many more to come. So I have tons of dreams and aspirations to buy more commercial property. But this was a passion project, and I just said I want to create an opportunity for a small business owner to stop working out of their kitchen or in their pajamas in their house or on the couch or in their kitchen table, taking away from that family time, right? And that sacred space and separating church and home. Not, you know,
mental health, you know, you don't want to do it every day, the same thing. You can actually do it outside your
I
home.
think COVID created the remote opportunity, which I love, right? Like I love a good admin day where you're in leggings and sweatpants and a messy bun and you can just, you know,
but not all the time.
But not all the time. You need to be out there. You need to network. You need to be with humans. So I get it. And so I wanted to create an office space for an opportunity for people. So very affordable rates, utilities included, ample parking, high traffic area, quaint and nice is what we're saying that it is. Because it's a full transformative thing. I have bigger aspirations. I want to own larger commercial buildings, right? I want to own ground up construction, like create plazas with tons of opportunities there. So
I see you doing all that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So that's kind of where personally I want to head, continue to grow the Go Effect, be remote anywhere. I recently took a trip to Scottsdale, Arizona. It was beautiful over there, breathtaking. And so I want to travel more. It was my first time there and genuinely fell in love with it. Went to Sedona hiking. And when the energy, I tell you, is different there, it's just different there. The sun is different.
Do you think that doing those things, you know, outside your comfort zone is bringing you new ideas on what you can do?
Absolutely.
You know, but for me, it's definitely the travel. It is on the boards. You know, I see not the rest of the year, but next year I do want to incorporate Latin on the go. You know, so I can actually do more because my book of business is all over US. So I want to make sure that I'm actually out there, not only for the company, but for myself, you know.
Absolutely. I think it brings a different point of view, literally, right? You're in a different environment. You get to people watch and you get to see from different regions throughout the US We have 50 states. I don't know anyone, I personally. So I asked myself this question recently and I said, do I have a friend or do I know someone who has traveled all 50 states? No, I don't.
I just talked to, isn't that crazy? You just said that. And I had a conversation last week with a friend of mine. She came to my home and she's like, we were like talking. I was like, I would like to go to every single state. It's kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking, can I do it by myself? Of course I can. A lot of things are happening in the US. So I'm like, it should be. But that would be great.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's so much opportunity, and we kind of hold ourselves
a road trip coming up.
Road trip. But I'm a firm believer that if you're change your environment, literally, again, I envision myself having a cafecito on a balcony and seeing the mountains as my view. The first thing I see when I wake up. Not to mention that Scottsdale is up and coming.
It's you so loved clean. It that much.
I did. It was so nice. Only 3-hour time difference. They do have direct flights now from Bradley to Scottsdale, which is really, to Phoenix. But Phoenix is like 10, 15 minutes away from Scottsdale. But again, culturally different, weather-wise different. I mean, it rains.
I went to Denver, Colorado, and I fell in love.
That's my next.
I'm like, fell in love. It was so clean. The air, everybody who was passing by, walking. Hey, good morning. What is this? I mean, it was so different.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It's a different environment. It's a different view. It allows you to think differently. It allows you to be creative, and really hone in on like, oh, they have this out here. Why can't I bring this home, right? Or why can't I creatively create the same concept?
What do we need in Connecticut, you think, besides less taxes?
What do you think? That's another podcast.
I know. What do you think we can actually do in Connecticut that is going to bring more unity?
I think more experiences. I think we see a lot of aesthetic, like you see the restaurants and they're just like, oh, the cute drinks and the this and the that and the food and but let's be honest, nobody's eating a stack of pancakes this big. Yep. That's diabetes and we don't need that in our lives, right? So I think more experiences and actually living life and actually getting outside. And so people sharing, hey, I went on this hike and or getting together and doing a group hike. And with just different people, like different meetups. And I started seeing there's run clubs everywhere, right? Like in Texas and whatever. But we have run clubs here in Connecticut now.
Latinas in Motion. Shout out to Noemi. I just saw her article that it just came out yesterday. It was huge. And I see them and I followed them for a couple of years and I haven't been able to join them, at least one day. And it's true. It's so many little things that the people are doing. And we're just not connecting enough.
Yeah, I think
I wish, and I'm gonna try to make more time to do that because I think that now more than ever, me as a Sonia, not as a CEO, and me as a woman, I just need to either reconnect with the old people that I haven't been able to do that, but meet other people, in a personal level, hey, listen, without thinking, hey, I'm a CEO and I'm doing this. I just want to meet people and just have a quick conversation and
and say and be open, right? Like I took up golf and I love it. I love it. Like I'm like, why wasn't I doing this more often?
I got the golf club. You're not having it once.
Well, let's go. We need to go golfing. Tea time.
This conversation, But anyway, I'm going to put your information here. I would love this conversation. I don't even know how long we got people here. Thank you, everybody. Oh my goodness. Hi, guys.
Yeah, all the waves.
Yes. For them, I'm going to tag you in here. But I always tell everybody who comes into the podcast, this is conversation. This is not about having an interview. No, this is pure, hey, listen, what we're doing right now. But I always tell everybody to share something in Spanish at the end. It could be a saying, it could be a motto, it could be whatever you think. Para alguien que necesite.
Vamos a ver.
Something that you live by.
Okay, so algo que estoy, and I'm going to talk Spanglish.
Dale, tú puedes.
Experiencing, right? Estoy, algo que me está pasando a mí es que estoy madurando. ¿verdad?
Ok.
Cumplí 46 este año.
Oh, felicidades.
Gracias, gracias. Y yo dije, un refrán que mi mamá siempre decía, que en paz descanse, ya cumplió 20 años este año también, el mes pasado, que falleció. Y me dije, vieja pero no pelleja, así me decía.
Love it.
So, con eso te dejo porque, una, que no estamos viejas, estamos madurando.
Estamos como el vino.
Como el vino. Ay, me encanta el vino. So, next podcast, vinito, ya tú
Pero,
sabes.
de verdad, oh my goodness.
Because
I
love a good bottle of wine. But yeah, like, madurando. Y otra cosa es que, no sé cómo decirle esto en español, pero don't sweat the small stuff. Be present. Esté presente en todo lo que tú hagas y hazlo con intención. Because no puedes estar haciendo con algo detrás de tu mente que estás esperando algo de otra persona. Hazlo porque de corazón de verdad lo quieres hacer. Pero my biggest thing is vieja pero no pelleja, because I feel like I wish I knew back then what I know now. And I wish I could talk to myself and not be so hard. I'm still hard on myself. So, todavía estoy fuertecita con mí misma.
Pero bueno, tú sabes que, you know, we've been through so much, you know,
Yes.
as a everything in our levels as a woman. But it's time for, it's like you said, enjoy ourselves.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
take everything like, oh my goodness, I think that we're in a stage in our age,
Yeah.
that como tú dijiste, madurando, we know what we want, we don't play games, we want to build relationships, we want to make money. And listen,
Yeah.
our time is valuable. I always say, you know, I did change the way that I do business in the past year and a half.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I had to learn that my time is valuable.
Absolutely.
And I never thought that I could say that, because I think that is, you know, that syndrome that, oh no, I'm not worth it, I'm not doing a good job. No, my book of business says that I've been doing this for a long time. I help businesses every day, and it feels good.
It does.
It feels good because, you know,
And
at
it
the
feels
end of
good
the
to
day,
make money too. Let's be
oh,
real.
listen,
I'm all for the taboo conversations of we don't talk about money. Eso se queda en casa. No hablamos de
más
eso.
nada.
Que tú no puedes, no seas hechúa, ¿verdad? Ese
no.
eso es refrán.
Vamos a hacer it about, we're gonna make
All of
money. We calling it, we doing it, we are, and we're gonna do it the right way.
Correct.
Because people are gonna be happy with our services.
Yeah.
You know, and
Sure.
I can't wait to collaborate with you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of you.
We're proud of ourselves,
That's
Devin.
right.
We do a lot of things, and all of you, thank you for being with us, you know, in this, whatever the time that we
Shout
were
out to
at.
all the people who waved and who joined and listened on the live, who will check this out later too.
Absolutely. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Next week, we're going to have somebody else and listen to their stories, and we're going to watch Gladys, porque Gladys viene ahora y va a explotar y nos va a ayudar, y me va a ayudar a mí también, porque ella, she's going to look
Nos
at...
ayudamos y cada una.
You're gonna take care of you're gonna see my business, and you're gonna give me, like any other client, la oportunidad, y me vas a dejar saber, ¿viste? I'm gonna be her client. So
That's right. That's right. Nos ayudamos cada una.
Muchísimas gracias. Que tengan un fin de semana
Chao,
excelente. Nos vemos. Gracias por venir.
Gracias.
Viste.